Hello everyone and welcome back to Multiverse Monologues. We are switching some things up on YouTube, and instead of uploading the full podcast audio to YouTube, we're just going to be submitting selected audio clips from now on. You can find the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for totally free, so check out our full and in-depth thoughts on those services. Over the last few months, Ethan, Micah, and myself have been watching a Marvel movie every week and giving our in-depth thoughts on each one. By the time this is over, we will have reviewed every single Marvel film ever put to the big screen, so be sure to check those out as they are uploaded every Monday morning on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Along with reviewing them, we also rank them as a group and put them into a master list as we average out those three scores. So this week we tackled Ben Affleck's Daredevil from 2003, so be sure to check out our thoughts in the clip ahead of us as we put it into our list.
I think we just have a really bad movie here. I think we just do, and let's do scores. Let's do scores right now because
I'll go first.
All right. Ethan has his score.
Daredevil expert.
I mean, I also do have my
Daredevil expert.
Go ahead.
What do you have to say?
I put this 3.5 out of 10.
Whoa.
3.5. That is
Still better than
pretty
Howard
low.
the Duck, in your opinion.
That is pretty low.
Still better than Howard the Duck. This movie
3.5.
had such hilarious scenes. Like, this movie was bad in the funny way that you thought Howard the Duck was. I did not think Howard the Duck was hilarious in really any kind of format. But this, I love Colin Farrell's Bullseye. I think every scene he's in, he just is hilarious. The way he's playing him is just hilariously bad. The scenes with Elektra and the playground, hilariously bad. Everything Ben Affleck tries to do, pretty bad.
Yep.
So I put this above Howard the Duck, but it's not a great movie.
I would give this movie a 5.
A 5. Solid 5.
I think there is some really good elements. The soundtrack's really good, which elevates the movie, especially for me. I think there are shades of goodness, and I think this movie is the epitome of hitting it right down the middle of the road. It does nothing special, but it doesn't do anything very egregious either. It's just a really middle of the road. I think there's, again, things you can like in this movie, like Jon Favreau and the court scenes with Matt Murdock. I think Ben Affleck shines in some areas of this movie. Villains are trash, Elektra's trash, and I think it really hurts the movie acting-wise, story-wise, pacing-wise. It's right down the middle of the road for me with a 5.
Okay. For me, I would say, so my thought behind this is, for me, a 5, like Ben said, center of the road. Anything less than 5 is offensively bad. More bad things than good things. No redeeming qualities at all. Or things that you were like, okay, that's just terrible. So anything above 5 is there are good things in this movie. There was a reason to watch this. Things like that. So with that said, I would say, sure, there are a lot of bad things about this movie, but did I learn about Daredevil? Yes. Was that intro good? Was that origin good? I thought the origin was good. There were some spots sprinkled in that were good. Fight scenes, most of them were bad. Most of them were terrible. Characters, most of them were bad, but there were some good ones, like Foggy. And
A good one.
And I feel bad giving it. I feel bad if I were just to give it a 5.
Dude. Don't feel bad because this.
I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't
bad.
deserve a 5, a solid 5. It does not deserve a solid 5.
You don't think it deserves higher?
I think it deserves putting it lower. Actually,
I think it deserves a 5.2.
Oh.
5.2. Okay.
I think this. This movie is bad. Any fight scene, terrible CGI. The physics in this movie are garbage.
Yep.
Daredevil somehow has Superman jumping abilities. He can jump over buildings and jump off buildings.
Yeah, that's why.
When he jumped off that building and landed on that scaffold, I'm like,
we didn't talk about CGI at all.
No, when he jumped off the building,
It's trash. That's all that needs to be said.
Compared to Spider-Man that came out last year, it was incredibly bad.
Yep.
Like, remember how I said Spider-Man 2002 was peak of CGI at the time? This, you can tell that they cut the budget at there.
Absolutely.
That scene
Ethan,
when he jumps off,
I'm changing my point.
When he jumps off the building, you're like, oh, we're finally going to get a cool swinging scene with Daredevil. But somehow, after falling 40 stories, he lands on some scaffold with, like, hyper spring knees. I don't know what they did with him.
It's kinda wild.
Every character in this movie is terrible except Foggy. There's no character development. The scenes aren't set good. Things are kind of happening. I'm just making my argument for all of you guys put this sub 5 because I don't think it deserves.
I changed my score to 4.8.
Thank you.
That is the lowest I will go.
So I don't know if this is possible, but I am trying to move away from decimals. I'm only going to rank things from now on 5, 6.5, 7, or like.
We got
only
71
using,
movies.
71 movies, Ben.
Well,
That's
I'm
gonna
going to rank things like this movie's a 7. Yeah, this movie's also a 7. Or
But
this
then you have
movie's
to
a
pick which is
7.5.
better. I think doing the points
Not really.
now.
I'm not saying you guys can't. I just don't want to do that. I think there's a lot of thinking involved, and it's like, hey, if this movie's a 7, this movie might also be a 7. I'm going to try and move away from that. So I'll amend my scores in there to reflect the closest thing to whatever else it is.
You want me to move those all up now? Round them up?
Yeah, or round them up or down or whatever it is.
Five
Like I'm
round
okay with doing half points, like a 7.5.
Okay.
I'm okay with
I'll
doing
keep
that.
the halves.
But I just don't like 7.7. I don't know. Like I don't want to do that.
Ooh,
from
that
now.
brings Spider-Man up to 7.9.
So that's great. That's great. But I'm trying to move away from that. But for me, Daredevil's a 5.
All right.
So where does that put Daredevil in our ranking, Michael?
In last place, we have Howard the Duck still
Yep.
in our sixth place with a 4.16 repeating. And then we have Daredevil Director's Cut
Daredevil.
with a 4.43 repeating. Putting it below
Wait, so Howard the Duck is 4.1.
4.16, and then Daredevil is 4.43. It's up by 0.3%.
You
Or
want this
0.3.
movie under Howard the
No,
Duck?
I wanted like a little bit more than. Oh no, I guess you did put Howard the Duck pretty high on your list. So never mind that.
Yep.
That makes sense to me. I'm like Daredevil should be a lot better than Howard the
Because
Duck.
I
at
enjoyed
least.
Howard the Duck.
That's true.
enjoyed
I
Howard
forgot
the Duck.
about that. All right, yes. So
Yes.
that's in 6th place or 5th
And
place.
then
whatever.
our fourth place is Blade, the original, at 6.9.
Blade.
Then X-Men at
X-Men.
6.93. Then Blade 2, 7.3. And Spider-Man 2002 at 7.9.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. New clips are going to be uploaded every week, so hit the like button, click subscribe, and turn on those notifications to join us in this ever-expanding multiverse.